This week there's been some exciting news coming out about interest-only loans. So interest-only loans from Commonwealth Bank, they will allow a 15-year period for interest-only loans, which is fantastic, particularly for investors. So you get two types of loans where you can do interest-only or principal and interest. The principal and interest is you're paying down some of the mortgage every time you're paying that mortgage, so every month or fortnight. And obviously then it's a bigger amount. Interest only is a smaller amount that you can do. A lot of investors tend to go with the strategy of doing interest only, and they normally can only get a 5-year period with their bank. There's some banks that are now doing 10 years and Commonwealth Bank doing a 15-year period. So why are interest only loans important to investors? Well, number one, it helps with the cash flow on the property. So on an investment property, we know interest rates are relatively high at the moment, and when we get a little bit of ease on the cash flow by doing interest only, that can be very beneficial. Also, remembering as an investor, the interest is tax deductible. Also, why it's important, or why it can be important to investors, is that while you're accumulating properties and going through your accumulation stage, you may be buying 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 investment properties. It does help if you have interest only as far as serviceability in the eyes of the bank. So they see each month what you're paying out versus what's coming in the form of rent. So there may be a good strategy where while you're accumulating your properties in your property portfolio to do interest only. What you must consider though is at some point you do need to debt minimize. So at some point, once you've bought your properties and your cash flow allows it, to start paying down some of the debt on those mortgages. So at some point you'll have to look at either moving to principal and interest on some of the loans or all of your loans, or actually selling off one of your properties and then moving those profits in against one of the mortgages. So what's really important here is, number one, you talk very closely on an ongoing basis with your finance broker to make sure that you're getting the best loans at the best interest rates, particularly as an investor, and talking to your accountant regarding the cash flow. Where I do see people falling and not being successful in property is the cash flow around properties. They don't understand the cash flow catches them out. So buy a good investment property. Great news for investors about interest only loans now being able to go to a 15-year period through Commonwealth Bank. If you need to speak to a good finance broker or good accountant, please reach out to us at Property Powerhouse. We have a good trusted network of finance brokers and accountants and other service providers Australia-wide. Thank you.